What is up guys, GeoSnow right here. So in today's video I have great news about the MOSEC conference that you probably know is organized by Pangu and PoC, and we're going to also discuss about the iOS 10.3.1 jailbreak, what we know and so on. So I'm going to start with the MOSEC conference, and you probably know in one of my videos I also talked about this MOSEC thing. And MOSEC stands for Mobile Security Conference. As I said, is organized by PoC, or Power of Community, and also Pangu. And in my previous video, you have probably seen, we discussed about the fact that there are only 2 speakers available for MOSEC this year. It was Max Bazili and this guy Lion Chen in here. And Max is going to talk about Pwning the Apple Watch, and of course Lion is going to revisit the kernel security enhancements in iOS 10. Well, something great has happened a couple of days ago, and MOSEC was updated and it has 3 more speakers now, which means it's going to be much more interesting, but one of them is a high profile in the iOS community. I'm talking of course about Luca Todesco. Yes, Luca Todesco is going to be at MOSEC 2017, so he's going to talk about, quote, a look at modern iOS exploit mitigation techniques. So he's going to talk about the history of iOS mitigations and how effective they were. Mitigations means, to put it simple, means what Apple does in order to close a vulnerability on an iOS device, and how effective is that compared to the attacks from the other, I don't know, vulnerability researchers. So the other guys, Tao Wei and Yulong Zhang, are also going to talk about the restrictions on the current Android app signature scam. So, being a mobile security conference is going to also include Android, and these guys in here are going to talk about it. But yeah, the interesting part in here is that we're going to have Luca Todesco at MOSEC, so he is going to be there and talk about these things. Now, Pangu still didn't update their speech in here, so this is going to be probably interesting. Probably they either keep it secret or they didn't think about it yet, which is something that I highly doubt. Now, some of you might say that Pangu is never going to be at MOSEC this year, and this is why they are not listed in here as speakers. Well, that can or cannot happen, because why I'm saying that, if you go ahead in previous in here, you can see that on MOSEC 2016, Pangu was one of the main speakers. So let's go ahead in here. You can see we had Pangu Team, and they discussed about, quote, the lost land of chain of trust on iOS. Now, if we go ahead here on the previous, but we go on 2015, they have been also in here. Let me go ahead. Also the main speaker, and they talked about the design, implementation and bypass of the chain of trust model on iOS. So they have been on the MOSEC conference. They are not only organizing it, they also talk on it about various topics, and therefore I think they're going to also be present in here, and I expect something pretty cool from Pangu. Probably either another jailbreak demo or something related to the current iOS 10.3.1 jailbreak demo. Now, the MOSEC conference is going to be held next month, so it's pretty close to the iOS 10.3.x thing. Now, as I say, this is organized by the Power of Community, and you probably know Power of Community is also organizing the ZeroCon, which was last month in April, and Pangu also talked about something in here, and it was the exploiting on macOS Sierra kernel, and we also had Jan Beer from Google Project Zero, which is the guy behind the Mac portal. So pretty interesting topics, pretty good conferences. I expect something pretty good from Pangu. Now, another thing that I want to discuss with you in this video is about the iOS 10.3.1 jailbreak, and not about the jailbreak itself, but about the danger in which the jailbreak is for the moment due to iOS 10.3.2 being close to the release date. Now, it's pretty normal for Apple to release the betas on a 7 days schedule, but they did not this time. It's been 10 or 11 days since the iOS 10.3.2 beta 5 has been released, and normally by now Apple should have released iOS 10.3.2 either as a final release or beta 6, but they did not, which means, in my opinion, that they're playing cat and mouse games with Pangu. Because there are rumors on the Chinese websites, and we discussed about all these rumors in here on this video, in which I tried to combine everything we know about this iOS 10.3.1 jailbreak, link is in the description, we discussed about the rumors that are on the Chinese boards, and people in there are talking about the fact that Pangu might be waiting for iOS 10.3.2 to be released in order to drop their jailbreak. Now, this is not going to happen instantly, and no jailbreak team is actually dropping the jailbreaks exactly after the release. So it's probably going to take either a week or two or even more if they are going to release. We do not know if they will ever release it. They're just rumors that were not confirmed. So we're still waiting for any details. But the problem here is that if Apple is delaying the iOS 10.3.2 purposefully just to see what Pangu is doing, this means further delays for us. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because once iOS 10.3.2 gets released finally, iOS 10.3.1, the one that is targeted by Pangu Jailbreak, as you can see from here, their demo shows iPhone 7 on iOS 10.3.1, will no longer be signed. Again, that's not going to happen instantly. You will still have a little bit of time to do the downgrade or to do the upgrade, but it's very important to be at that firmer version when I tell you to do so. Do not update yet. I mean, if you're on iOS 10.3 or 10.2.1 or 10.2, which are currently no longer signed, as you can see from my website, you will need to stay there until I tell you to update. But for the moment, just save your SHSH2 blobs. A tutorial is available in the description. You're going to need to do so because you will not be able to downgrade to 10.3.1 either way. So this is pretty much what we have for the moment, and I really hope the MOSEC conference is going to bring new topics and something very good from Pangu. And yeah, till the next time, do not forget, save your blobs for iOS 10.3.1. iOS 10.3.2 might be released either today or tomorrow or further this week, but keep that in mind. When I tell you to update, you're going to do so only if I do tell you to update. Till the next time, I'm GeoSnow. Peace out.